A lot of people probably hate Alicent Hightower after episode 6 of House of the Dragon, because while Alicent is portrayed in a very sympathetic build-up in the first 5 episodes, episode 6 shatters this and tries to portray her in a more negative manner. She's seen as a bitter woman, a schemer, someone who tries to poison her kids against their nephews. Too many people on social media are applying modern values and ideologies to analyze the show, even though Westeros is a monarchy in a feudal, medieval, religious setting. Emergency Awesome even calls Alicent a Karen in his review of the episode, which is completely ridiculous. Alicent has real fear for her kids, and I want to try and provide understanding to her side of things, to see why she acts the way she does and maybe establish a bit of sympathy. From the very start of the show, Alicent exists in complete antithesis to Rhaenyra. Despite the two being best of friends, they couldn't be more than opposite of one another. Rhaenyra is free-spirited and assertive. She does whatever she wants, regardless of the consequences, whereas Alicent is calm, courteous, and dutiful. She lives her life according to the wishes of her parents and is bound by the expectations of them and society at large. Alicent does not scheme to become queen and hold power over Rhaenyra. She's basically forced to seduce a widowed man by her father. Yet Rhaenyra hates her for this and initially ends their friendship, despite Alicent's attempts to remain friends. While they do eventually reconcile, and Alicent even goes against her father in Rhaenyra's defense because Rhaenyra swears on her dead mother to Alicent that she was innocent, this just shows that Alicent is genuinely good-natured and wants to do the right thing, even if it means going against her father. Because her father Otto is removed from court because of this, and Alicent is truly alone for the first time. She has genuine fears for both herself and her children, and these are reinforced by Otto telling her that Rhaenyra will not be accepted on the throne. The last straw, however, comes when she finds out Rhaenyra lied to her in front of a godswood and on the name of her dead mother. While not a complete lie, it was a half-truth, which is often worse than a full lie. And Alicent by this point realizes that she can't rely on anyone but herself. And this is truly where she begins playing the Game of Thrones. So fast forward 10 years later in episode 6, and we have a very bitter and scheming Alicent. But is she completely in the wrong? Does she have genuine concerns? Well, Alicent is genuinely worried for her kids. This isn't helped by the fact that Rhaenyra proves herself to be completely irresponsible and shirks her duties by having 3 obvious bastard children. Now, even though Rhaenyra is a woman, she isn't going to magically instate 2,000 years of societal progress from our world into Westeros. She still has to follow her duties if she wants to be queen. And Rhaenyra herself recognizes this, which is why she marries Laenor. But she completely shirks her duties and responsibilities by having 3 bastard children. Alicent says it best: 1 child like that is a mistake, 3 is an insult. From what I've seen in the commentary, a lot of modern people don't really understand how big of a deal this bastard thing is. The throne in Westeros is specifically based on lineage and pure blood, which is why Rhaenyra marries Laenor in the first place, to unite the 2 greatest houses in the realm. Whatever you want to say about Jace, he's a false heir, and even though he is Rhaenyra's son, his lineage is not pure. He's obviously a bastard. Bastards can't be kings. If Rhaenyra wants to ignore her duties and sleep with whoever she wants, she can, But she can't pretend her bastards resulting from her lovers are the legitimate heirs to the Iron Throne. Imagine if Queen Elizabeth of England had bastards and King Charles was a bastard now assuming the throne. The fact Rhaenyra's children are bastards is what makes Alicent's fears way worse, because Rhaenyra would have a genuine reason to murder Alicent's children as their rivals to her bastards and way better claimants to the Iron Throne since they are legitimate children. I've seen a lot of people in response to these claims say that Alicent's fears are simply irrational and Rhaenyra would never kill her half-sisters. These people point to the betrothal between Jace and Helaena proposed, and they also say that Rhaenyra hasn't done anything super evil yet. But again, these people don't understand medieval context. Kinslaying for power was a genuine fear and something that happened relatively all the time. Rhaenyra so far has proven herself willing to break the rules to do whatever she wants, so it's not completely unreasonable to think that if she were in power, she'd do something like murder her political rivals. About the marriage with Helaena, well, that marriage is something that benefits Rhaenyra politically. It isn't necessarily a sign of goodwill. For Alicent's case, marrying her trueborn daughter to an obvious bastard is both a disgrace and is basically acknowledging the bastard as the legitimate heir to the Iron Throne. Lastly, in terms of manipulating Aegon, all of Alicent's points to him are genuinely valid and not poisonous. The Strongs will become his rivals eventually, and Rhaenyra will see him as a threat and probably try to kill him. Aegon, for his part, is shown to be a complete idiot with no understanding of politics or how things work, so Alicent is really just trying to wake her son up to the realities of court. I hope I could provide insight to Alicent's character and provide some sympathy for her situation, looking at the show from the traditional values of the time. We'll obviously have to see where the show takes her character, but it is very clear that Alicent is not a complete villain and has genuine fears realistic to the time she lives in.